Hello and welcome to the MUFIC Songwriter of the Month for July. My name is Joshua Jarman, and today I'm joined with Noah Grove. Noah, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Boom! Yeah, nice powerful handshake there. Noah is described as a beachy folk songwriter who is from California, Long Beach, California. How'd you make your way here?
I was born in California. My family moved us out to Tennessee my family moved us to Tennessee about age 7 because they thought the city was kind of dangerous and they just wanted to be somewhere safer and less expensive. I think was a part of it too. Mm-hmm. So we went out to Brentwood, Tennessee, which at the time was really a lot of farmland. It's a lot more developed now. We had cows in our backyard when I was growing up there, which was really cool. Was in Tennessee, in Brentwood, Tennessee, the rest of my childhood, all through college. I went to college UT Knoxville. Once I graduated college, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. Even when I was in college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I think, honestly, I was just kind of immature. And this is a long answer, but it's kind
of... Dog's got something going on over here.
Got something to say. I didn't know what I wanted to do. I actually just bought a ticket basically and just went and taught English in Argentina for a little while and just kind of floated around. I worked in a restaurant for a little while. Eventually I went out to Outer Banks and taught kite surfing, and that's really one of the main places that got me started going in music. It's where I got my first paid gig.
So kite surfing actually kind of met hands with music and got you comfortable with doing that? Or were you a musician before kite surfing? Or
I've done music since 6th grade. I started playing a snare drum.
Nice.
In a high school band or in a middle school band, and
that explains your rhythm.
Yeah. I got kind of rhythmic style, I guess, with my guitar playing. I kind of wanted to be a drummer. That's what I wanted to be at the beginning.
Right.
And my parents made me take classical piano, and
it's kind of the same thing, right?
It's similar. It is a percussion instrument,
sure,
right? Yeah. So, I took classical piano for 3 years. Did pretty well with it, but then I ended up taking from a teacher that was really wanted me to play notes very specific ways, and I wanted to be creative. And that's where I started becoming a songwriter. My dad bought me an old EMAC computer and a 2-port audio interface.
Nice.
And mic, and I just started losing myself up in my room, just making songs, and they were horrible. They were, what can you expect? But I would write songs about my friends, just making fun of them, it's a good thing they're all deleted now.
These things will haunt you one day. Everything's on Google still.
So some of them were pretty funny, but yeah. If they came out now, I'd get in real trouble. So don't go digging them up, people.
So you found your way. You were in Argentina when you really started taking music seriously, or were you back this way at that point?
When I really started taking music seriously, it was after I taught kite surfing. This guy called Uncle Krusty helped me get my first paid gig. He was kind of like what would you say, sort of a surrogate father, or a father figure to me.
Okay.
He helped me a lot in just thinking about things and supporting my music and supporting my dream, to be a performing musician. And he helped me, believe in myself. Then after that, I kind of had an option to go to the Caribbean, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and teach kite surfing, where I'd probably make pretty good money. And honestly, it was a little bit of laziness coupled with the desire to really pursue something that was more important to me, that pushed me to drive out to, it's not going to make any sense, but I drove out to Long Beach, California, with the guidance of people I didn't know that sort of told me, a few different people told me to go here. And I just lived in my car in a Honda CR-V, and just started going to open mics until I started getting gigs and connecting with as many gigs as I could. I didn't get a lot of gigging opportunities there, but yeah, that's when I really took it seriously. As I went out there and I just walked around on the sidewalk with my guitar, just walking into venues, playing, saying, "Hey, it's the bartender here, it's the manager here it's the manager here. I'll play for you. If you want to book me, or whatever." And if the manager wasn't, I'd play for a bartender or whoever would listen. And
Just doing the grind.
Yeah, doing the grind.
Yeah, and back then it wasn't so, well, maybe it was easy enough to email someone, but it was a little more efficient to walk in somewhere and be like, "Hey, I'm this person, here I am, here's some of my music or examples." And
yeah.
Do you find yourself still playing the snare or the classical piano at all? Or do you use that in your music at all?
I do have a drum kit. and I'll play on it sometimes, but I'm not that good.
Okay. So
I'm never gonna be good, at that. But yeah.
You mentioned Argentina as being a part of your story, but I found a couple other really fantastic places that you claim to have played over the years since taking music on as a full-time thing. Where are some of these other places that were outside of the U.S.?
I played in Morocco once, which was really cool. It was just like a sort of a second or third floor of this restaurant building that was kind of open air. I don't know if this kind of stuff matters to people, but like the actual the layout of the venue is really fascinating to me. The layouts of venues is, I think, super important, and it's just really fascinating. So, because I think it has so much to do with what actually happens in that space and
Sure.
how the music plays and stuff like that. Not just in terms of how the music, acoustically moves around, but also just how it affects people's emotional states and their ability to be receptive to different music or not receptive, or just it affects it. So this place was like kind of open, and it was a really unique place to play music. And basically it was just an open jam, and everyone was just trading songs. So it was a public event. It was in the middle of a restaurant, so you had diners and everything going on.
Cool.
It was really pretty cool. I've never participated in anything like that anywhere else.
Just vibing off each other and passing ideas around?
And it was loose. It's like a real community event, but it was happening in a very nice restaurant or whatever. Not some kind of crazy upscale thing, but like here in the U.S., I've never seen that. So it's like, most restaurants you have your stage and you have your area. All the areas are designated. This just felt like a place that was really helping to grow community. So I thought it was really cool.
Like a free range, and there just happened to be musicians that night, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to perform a song in just a minute. What song are you going to play for us?
Okay. I think I'm going to do, it's sort of a cover song, but it's my take on a cover song, and it's called Video Gameville. And it's basically, maybe you can guess where that's going. It's a new version of Jimmy Buffett's famous song. And yeah, it sort of comes from me being a gamer, which I guess I'll mention that. I was on a show in California, online thing called Geek and Sundry. It was a really cool thing. There were about 4,000 people that tuned in to watch, and then you get like tons of comments that are just coming down. And like when you're playing, like I played a song called My Family Loves Me, and then everybody puts those lighters in the chat or whatever, little flames or whatever.
That's very cool.
And they're just streaming. You can communicate with everyone. So I'd written a song called I'm a Gamer. Video gaming is some of my history, and I'm not really a gamer anymore. It's like I'm clean from video games for about 6 months now, and I'm going strong, and that's kind of the context for Video Gameville.
Video Gameville.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I'd like to thank you, as well as the audience here at MUFIC, for being our Songwriter of the Month in July, man. And
thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Eating old birthday cake, trying to smite a drink. It's an objective that I can claim. Mashing my keyboard, it's what I live for. Everyone playing will fear my name. Wasting away again in Video Gameville, searching for my share of good luck. Some people claim there's a hacker to blame, but I know I forgot to duck. I don't know the reason my champ is still bleeding. I only got hit once or twice, but it's a real doozy. Shot right in the booty. Find me a medic, I need to sit on some ice. again in video gameville, searching for just a little bit of good luck. Some people claim there's a hacker to blame, but I know I just suck. Blew up my Xbox, couldn't take the trash talk. Lost my mind, had to let it all out. Oh, but there's cash in my desk drawer, and that's what it's there for, to buy a new console so I can go on. Wasting away again in video gameville, searching for just a little bit of good luck, just a bit of good luck. Some people claim there's a hacker to blame, but I know, well, maybe I just suck. Some people claim there's a hacker to blame, but I know I just suck.
You mentioned Morocco, you mentioned Argentina. I also had notes on here that you'd played in Ireland, or at least visited there musically, or is that somewhere else that you've played?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if I played in Ireland. I did. I've been to Ireland a couple of times. I think on that trip, it might have been that one where I played in a subway. I think it was actually in England, in London. But I still maybe some people would say that's not really playing music, but I think it is, because
I mean, just to move the air there and play your music.
Play your music, and there's a bunch of people all waiting for the subway. It's late at night, and they really liked it, so that's always good.
Very cool.
But also playing in Argentina was a really important one for me, because I actually put a band together, and that was my first time really having a public performance, and it was such a cool experience having a band. And I guess I would say this, for anybody listening, that I think I made a mistake back then, which is I didn't understand how special that group was. I thought I was very underdeveloped as a musician. I thought that we were all... I had no context to understand if what we were doing was any good or not, and I assumed that because we're pretty new at it, it must not be good. But the more pressing thing is that how special it just is when people come together to make music, and it just works, and it just clicks, and you just are all so happy to be doing it together. That is not... It doesn't just happen every day.
Pretty uncommon, yeah.
Yeah, so if you have that, it's... you don't want to undervalue that. And that was just a young mistake, so I don't know.
Not always easy to appreciate things in the moment the way that they should be, huh?
Yeah.
Retrospect does that for you. So if we fast forward a little bit more to where you're back in the States, you've sort of begun getting more comfortable with your songwriting and defining yourself as a musician and songwriter. And I'm sure you had a lot of different endeavors therein. A couple other notes that I had was in 2016, which you did several things in 2016, 2017. That must have been a heavy hitting couple years for you. You were a part of the City Van Tour. What can you tell me about that?
Well, the City Van Tour would just be my tour. I bought a van. It was a
pretty cool looking van.
It was a cool looking van. It had graffiti all over it. I bought it that way. I thought maybe it got me a discount on the van. So, I built a wooden structure inside the van, basically trying to build a desk, and I had put my laptop in there and my microphone. And I put a futon in there, and basically, just turned it into a mobile recording studio. Nothing. It was pretty shoddy. I think that's a good word to describe it. But
functional.
It was functional. It was functional. So I just drove around I had planned to go for about 8 months or so, but I only made it about 3 before I started running out of money, and also just the road kind of beat me down. But that said, it was an amazing experience.
No doubt.
I had a great time. I went through Baja California, and I went to about 60 different cities over the course of 3 months. Baja California was amazing. I got to play at a venue in La Ventana for a bunch of kite surfers and people there. And on the way back, I got pulled over by the Federales. And on the way down, there were 6 military checkpoints, and they were all pretty cool and just let me go, which I was shocked by because I thought...
I'm in a graffitied van.
Yes.
This is about to be bad. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I thought, but I got pulled over by the Federales at one point, like some roadblock kind of thing, and they asked me what I had in the car. I said just clothes and music instruments, which is the truth, but I would assume nobody would believe that. And then they looked in the side and they just said for me to get out a guitar. And I think they were, maybe they just wanted, they trusted me, or maybe they're testing me.
They wanted proof.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I played a song that I'd written for them, and then they played me a song, and we literally just sat on the side of the road with the Federales and just played songs and talked about life, what life was like as a police officer in Mexico, and what their experience was in the U.S. and stuff like that. I thought it was really cool.
That's very cool, man. They're definitely full of experiences, and to push that hard for 3 months and fill, you said 60 different cities?
Yeah.
What a cool thing to be able to say, man, and talk about getting your feet wet, right?
Yeah.
So now you found your way back in Charleston, and you're happily married and have a beautiful home in Charleston. Yeah, I've had the opportunity to visit there. You've got a studio you're working up called The Grove.
Yeah.
And what really got you interested in being a sound engineer or a producer?
So that's one of the ways that I started, really developing myself as a songwriter, and that's the main way that I feel like I've been in music, is through just writing songs and recording them. That's kind of what kept my inspiration going from when I quit piano, basically till now, I would say. Through college, just always I was trying to write songs and record songs. But why I wanted to do a studio and record others, I mean, the studio is partly just for me to record my own stuff and have a place to do my work and practice and stuff like that. But I also wanted to record other people because I feel like I have, I don't really have an ambition to be like competitive with the main studios in town. My ambition is just to be somebody that can help maybe in particular songwriters take what they've done and bring it up to a next level or whatever it is. I don't know. I think I'm getting pretty good at it. But it's never going to be my ambition. It just takes time to get great at anything. It just takes a lot of time.
Sure.
But I think what I can do is help people with arrangements. Maybe if you're on a piano and vocals, or a guitar and vocals, and you've been writing songs, I'm pretty good at hearing where things can go, or what you're going for. If you give me a guitar track or give me a piano track, I think I can pretty well understand where you're coming from with your songwriting.
The direction.
And
help embellish it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And I know a lot of young songwriters don't always come across that opportunity, and not everyone can record at home yet. And so to come across someone like you who really just wants to help build them up and get them to the next tier, that's a good thing. A couple more things before I give you the opportunity to plug some of your work. I see that you've got a band you've been playing with or putting together lately called Noah and the Space Ark.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I gotta show the shoes because it is a part of the thing. Hopefully that's in the frames. Yeah. So I got these shoes to go with the band, and this is the first time I've ever played music sort of wearing a costume or whatever. And
okay.
I wear a robe, and so it's a little bit theatrical, or a little bit something like that. Which kind of came from an experience that I had with a band called the Funhouse Porcupines in Long Beach. I played with them for a while, and that was a total blast with Robbie Ravenwood and Nathan Douglas, who I should mention. Nathan Douglas is one of the main influencers on me, or one of the main people that helped me. There are two people, I would say this is an important part of my story. Two people in Long Beach in particular, I would say 3, that really, really, really helped me move forward in music, and I wouldn't probably have succeeded without them. Nathan Douglas is one of those. He's a prolific songwriter. He writes at least a song every single day. He's probably... And they're developed songs, they're not, he has his, ones that aren't there's not a lot there, but a lot of them have good amount of thought into it. He's prolific as a songwriter. I've worked with him on probably about 200 to 300 different of his songs. And what he would do is, I had a studio in Long Beach that was in an old sort of carriage house, detached garage kind of thing. It was donated to me by Richard and Therese Prieto, and those people, they just saw me at different open mics or whatever, and they let me stay in that carriage house when they found out I was sleeping in my car, and they let me run a studio there. They didn't charge me a dime ever, and I was there. Yeah, it was amazing, and so then Nathan paid me generously because I was not experienced at the time, so he overpaid me for a while. As I got experience, and he would just bring in tons of different local musicians. So he would also provided a whole bunch of opportunities for other musicians in the Long Beach area that wouldn't otherwise be getting work like that. And he would help build a lot of confidence in different people just by giving them those opportunities and helping create a nurturing, open environment for people to just be more comfortable with themselves. And so we worked with I would say 70 to 80 different musicians over the course of a couple of years, and singers and different people in that studio. So that helped me a ton. And now I forgot what the original question was.
Well, I mean, nonetheless, it's really cool that you've encountered people like that, because it sounds like you're taking those qualities and passing them on to the next person that you have the opportunity to impact as well. So these are really good things. Moving into the final end of the segment, I see in 2016 you celebrated a self-produced release called Big Picture. And in 2017 following, you had something called Beautiful Frankenstein. These are things that you recorded yourself prior to The Grove, but were fully self-produced. Do you have any other albums in the works, and where can people find your music online?
You can go to noahgrove.com to find the music I've got, or you can search No Grove on Google, No Grove Music. It'll come up on Spotify, on YouTube, all that kind of stuff, Amazon. I've actually got 4 albums out right now that are all self-produced. The third one I produced here in the Grove pretty early on, and then the fourth one also is produced here. But the fourth one, I'm going to delete it. So
okay, it's going to make it a lost album, huh?
Yeah, it's going to be gone. But I was glad to do it. Basically what I did is I took a lot of older songs that I never felt were really... I didn't know if either I didn't think they were good enough, or I didn't feel like they had a place on another album. And then but I felt like they needed to be done. So I made that 4th album. But I am going to take some of those songs, and with this new band, Noah and the Space Ark, we're taking a lot of what I think are my best songs, and we're going to do a full new album using those. And I'm really excited about it. I think the band is really cool.
Nice.
We've got our members are Kevin Carruthers, Brett Weller, and Lou Gonzalez. And I feel like they're all really competent musicians. And maybe most importantly, they have a really good feel for songs and just how to, they're not showboaters or anything. But we all are trying to, deliver a song, and we're all trying to work together to make it as good as it can. And yeah,
that's cool,
so I'm super excited about it, and we have a really good time, and we're looking forward to playing a lot more shows.
Well, Noah Grove, it sounds like you got some really awesome things on the back burner and things in the works now for the future of your music, and a lot of things for people to check out if they'd like to be hear more from you. And definitely suggest you subscribe and like and help support artists like Noah Grove. And thanks for being a part of the MUFIC Songwriter of the Month, man. Go for that big one again, huh? I don't know. It was like,
yeah. No, I was
that works.
MUFIC sets you free.